Hi all, thank you so much for joining for this wonderful evening time. I'm really glad to welcome you all for our University of Hertfordshire preview session, Fireside Online Dialogue session. Thank you so much for joining in. I have two wonderful guests with me and I would like to introduce to them. And before we go further, I would like to give an update and inform you all that this session is recorded and which will be used for other purposes for those who didn't join in, and we'll be using that for the display as well. I hope you all don't mind. Thank you so much, and let's go. And I would like to welcome a wonderful guest here, Miss Karen Leong. Thank you so much for joining in. It's a real pleasure and meeting you. And to give a background about Miss Karen Leong, she's the head of Hertfordshire Business School Online and Deputy Associate Dean for UK Partnership. And she has over 35 years of teaching experience in UK, Malaysia, and has been with the University of Hertfordshire since 2013. That's really great. And her experience as head of the school for the online studies and as well as a Deputy Associate Dean of UK Partners demonstrates her competency at working across the higher and the education industry in UK and abroad. Thank you so much for joining in. We welcome you again and thank you. And also we have our respected Suresh along with us, and Suresh has his own expertise and experience in the sales management, and he's assistant head of school for School of Business Management. And I also would like to update that Suresh has been working in various industries. He has worked in startup and as well as in MNC environment as well, and is currently the assistant head of school for School of Business and Management at PSB Academy. Thank you so much for joining in. Pleasure having you, both of you.
Thanks,
Thank you. Okay. Housekeeping rule, I would like to update you all. As I informed, the session has been recorded, and the sharing session has started already in the Singapore timing, and this recording will be used later for other various purposes. And we request all participants to be muted to enable the speakers to present without interruptions. And questions will only be answered during Q&A session. And kindly send in your questions or comments in the chat box if you have anything. So when we go into the Q&A session, and if you have any questions coming up, please write it down, or if you would like to speak later in the allocated time will be good, or if you want to type in the chat box, please feel free and go ahead and use it, and we will address that at the allocated time. Thank you so much. Now let's get into the interesting section where we are going to have the Q&A session and the chat fireside dialogue session. Great. Thank you. And before we go ahead into that, I would like to ask Mr. Suresh to have a word about the program and to give an overview or an intro about the program which we are going to talk about it today.
Okay, thank you very much, Mahendra. So I think today we are talking about University of Hertfordshire's Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration. So it's a one-year degree program. I think it is designed for working adults, people who have busy schedules, who are looking to balance both school, which they want to add on to their busy work schedule as personal commitments. So I think in a gist, that would be what the program is about. But I think as the program goes on, myself and I think Karen will be sharing a bit more about the program, which will give you a bit more clarity. And at the end, we'll give you a bit more specifics about the program, and we'll be open to questions as well. Yeah.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you so much, Suresh. Thanks for giving the overview, and definitely we will look into more into the Q&A as we are stepping in now. And first question I would like to ask, and it's interesting and it's a quite straightforward question, and definitely you all will be, those who are joined in, you all will be having this in mind. Why PSB Academy partners with UH on this program? And I would like to ask Suresh to answer this.
Yeah, I think it's a very good question. I think PSB Academy, when we see over the last couple of years, I think this is not just in the education industry, it's globally. I think there's major disruptions around the world, and I think education is no different. So I think the pandemic itself created a lot of challenges for students who are already studying in program or were thinking about studying in programs. I think many people actually had to defer their studies or actually look at new ways of actually finding ways of finishing their studies. So I think at that time it was a very crucial period for us, and PSB Academy was already in discussion with University of Hertfordshire, and I think the way the program is actually delivered, the structure of the program, the assessment criteria, we thought it was a perfect fit. It actually gave us that ability to offer something that's very different from our current offering, and something that allows students to actually pursue their qualifications, especially during this difficult period while we're in the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic. So I think that would be one of the main reasons why I think PSB decided to partner with University of Hartford.
Thank you. And it gives a background for us to understand there's a lot of effort put in before it's been signed. Wonderful, wonderful. In the same way, I would like to ask Ms. Karen Leong, so what made the University of Hertfordshire do that?
I think it was quite a natural choice, isn't it? Yes. Because the university has worked with PSB on other programs as well. So the business school program is not the first with PSB Academy. I think what sort of drew PSB's attention to the supported distance learning program is the fact that it is a tried and tested program or qualification, because it has been running for over 10 years now with other partners in locations like Trinidad, Kenya, and Pakistan, among others. So we have got that reputation, and we know that it is a good program and a good qualification that enables students to actually work alongside their study. So for us as a university and as the business school, it's all about enabling students to access a UK or British qualification in their own local town, city, and at the same time enable them to learn new things from a global classroom, because students will be in a module site using our VLE or StudyNet, where they will be able to discuss things with their peers from the different countries. So it is a global classroom online, but on the other hand, with PSB, they have their local tutors for the local context. So I think it is a blending of the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I think it's a nice way to put it.
Wonderful, great. Wonderful to hear from both of them to give the different angle on that, and gives a mouthful and insight into that. And going to the next question is quite interesting. What is the profile of the students? And we see on the university side as well as with the PSB Academy in UK and internationally. So would you like to address this? Maybe Ms. Karen Leong can start.
Okay. As I said, because the program has run for more than 10 years at the business school, we have seen students that range from working adults, to mothers, to managers, mainly because this program is attractive for them as they're able to work alongside their own commitments, and at the same time be able to be supported online through the UH academic team and locally through the local tutors. So I think it gives them a very a different perspective online, but at the same time the local context is very important, I think.
Thank you, wonderful. Maybe Suresh, you would like to add on?
Yeah, actually I would say the profile of students will be pretty similar. It is working adults, people who are looking to add on their curriculum and studies on top of busy work schedule as well as personal commitments. And yes, I think they're looking for local support as well as global perspective. I think earlier today you shared glocal as a new word, so something new.
I was trying to think whether that would be the right terminology, and then it could be something like that.
Yeah. So I think that's really what we see for students on the program.
So that leads to the questions that what are some of the key factors students look at when they consider the university program to be taken or their choice? Maybe Suresh, I will ask you first.
Okay, I think the main point I would say is flexibility. I think that's crucial for students who look at this program. They're looking for the local support, international perspective, and another thing, I think because of the way the program is delivered as well as the entry point, cost is a huge factor. Cost savings is important. Yes. I think we're looking at increasing inflation, so everybody is getting a bit more sensitive, and I think we're looking at how we can actually get value, what we're looking for in terms of a rigorous curriculum at an affordable cost or manageable cost, and they would actually be given the right support to not only start it but also be able to complete it. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's a good information to know that actually why we choose. So going to the next question. So how is the university program different from other business degree programs? This is one of the things which we always ask, and in fact from the angle we want to know, because there are multiple options available. So we want to know in what way it's different, and in terms of curriculum and delivery. Maybe Ms. Karen Leong, can you address on this?
Yes, of course. I can take it from two perspectives. Okay, one is looking at the UH business administration programs itself, which is actually consistent across the different delivery modes. So we have got the campus modules that's similar with additional options, but the online and the supported distance learning has got the general business options. So in terms of curriculum, the program has been validated by our QA team as a business administration portfolio. Okay. Then the other element, of course, is that for our supported distance learning program, because of the way it's been designed to support students in different countries, we have got the ability for students to be able to gain a global knowledge or global understanding of how business works in different parts of the world. Plus, they also improve their digital capability because they're actually using, a VLE, and also some of the coursework elements requires them to use technology for the assessments. So in that sense, it's the delivery that is different, and the curriculum, although it has got a standard, consistent approach to it, the fact that it's being delivered in different countries actually gives different perspectives. So I think it's quite a good way for students to be able to gain understanding of how business is in different countries without leaving the country.
Wonderful. So, I mean, this definitely asks in terms of delivery. Is it different in Singapore and in the other countries, so which you also addressed?
Yes, I've already addressed that,
Exactly. So that's also the part of the questions which you covered. Thank you so much for that. And Suresh, you would like to add on anything to that?
I think, if you're looking at what is the key difference, I think from my experience, actually being with PSB Academy, meeting students who are looking to pursue a degree program, they usually look at a main few factors. You're looking at costs, the curriculum, flexibility, delivery, and I think in this case it ticks all the boxes. In terms of curriculum, yes, I think somebody, for the untrained eye, when they look at modules, you see marketing, you see management, but I think when you look deeper into the modules, what it delivers, what it entails, I think that's where the difference really is. And I think what is also very interesting when I actually look at the profile of the students is that what students study in the UH program in Singapore is exactly what they would study in any of the campuses internationally or any of the other partners as well.
Correct.
So I think that means that they get the same value, they get the same experience, just in the comfort of your own home or in the campus in PSB. And
I think I have to highlight that actually the role of the local tutor is that element that enriches the student's experience, because you get the global context from the UH team, but then of course when the local tutor delivers and reviews the concepts that's being introduced by UH, they enrich it and they deepen the students' knowledge, because it's all about them applying the concepts to their own experiences. That's the important thing.
Thank you. Wonderful. So it gives me assurance that there is a quality which is being maintained throughout, and there's an assurance for my course. So with this, next question what I would like to ask is, what is the difference for a student who takes other business degrees and compared to university like PSB Academy partnering with University of Hertfordshire for this program? So is there a difference? Does it make me better? Or how do you like to say? Maybe Suresh, you can start with this. Okay, maybe this, I think if we can even go back to the title of the program. So it is the University of Hertfordshire Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Business Administration top-up. So I think the word top-up is level 6 in the UK context. So that basically means a student goes straight to the last year. So I think maybe Karen can come in from a more academic perspective later, but I think you would need prior knowledge. I think be able to demonstrate that you have that prior educational knowledge as well as working experience to give you the competency to be able to read at that level. And I think that is crucial when a student decides on a degree program. So if I look at my other partner programs, some of them are year 1 entry, some are year 2 entry. It's tailored to different groups of students. If you're a young learner, I wouldn't recommend this program. It would be a program where you need the foundation, and probably year 1 or year 2 would actually give you a stronger grounding. So I think that's where when somebody is looking at this program, they would have prerequisite and know that they have the confidence and capability to actually read at this level.
Yeah, I agree with that actually, because I think what's important is this is a top-up, which is a final year of an undergraduate degree. So what it means is that students need to be able to apply themselves, and what might make it slightly easier for students is that if they have the work experience, then they will be able to apply the concepts and the knowledge that they gained through all the theories and things like that into the workplace. And that actually enables them to think differently. And also when they're doing the assessment, it helps them to develop different kinds of skills like analysis, evaluation, and that is also transferable to the workplace. And students do change. They find that the way they write reports at work changes after they've done an assessment, for example,
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this makes me to go more closer to the program, I would say, and gives the enthusiasm inside me to know better and to put one step further. Awesome. Thank you so much. And with this, right, I would like to go to the next question. So what's the entry comment? Basically, the prior knowledge in our a business diploma, is it necessary to enter into this program, because this is a business degree program?
Yep.
So is it necessary, or any other diplomas can it be entered? Maybe you want to start with Ms. Canlio?
Yes, I think it is important that students actually have a foundation in business. So having a diploma in business is the stepping stone, okay, to the level 6, all right? Because even though we say that, the level 6 business administration degree is a general business program, but there are underlying concepts that students need to know. Okay, so for example, if you study a level 4 module in marketing, you will probably do something like marketing, principles of marketing, yeah? At level 5, you will be marketing planning, because you're looking more in depth into how you plan to sell a product or service. Then at level 6, the module that we deliver is called Global Marketing Ethics and Culture. Okay, and that is where all the local context comes into it, yeah? We're looking at how culture affects how you sell a product, and how ethical are you in selling a particular product, So that's how we look at it. We do not want to disadvantage students by taking them on if they do not have any prior business knowledge. I think that's very important, because you are paying money for this program, so therefore you need to achieve something at the end of it. So for us, having the foundation helps you then to fulfill your potential.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it's kind of gives me a hint that for the safety of the student, or for the student to be in a better position. Maybe
Yes.
Suresh can explain and give a more insight in local context will be much better.
Yeah, I think looking at the kind of students who have applied for the program and the assessment and the support that UH has been providing in assessing these interested prospective students, it's exactly what Karen says. We are looking at people who need to be able to demonstrate prior knowledge, business knowledge, with prerequisite qualifications, either polytechnic or specific PSB Academy diplomas, which ensures that they meet the entry requirement and they will be successful in the program as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think for us it's a duty of care. Yeah.
Wonderful. I like that, the duty of care. So basically the students are cared for, carefully selected and put it inside for their benefit.
That's our job, don't we?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes,
That's great to hear.
right,
That's great
right.
to hear. Now, with the current, environment in terms of education becoming more business, but there's a quality which has been assured that is much appreciated, definitely. So, okay, let's look at the other question. So, what are some factors the University of Hertfordshire considers when assessing a student? So, basically, if I'm a student who want to apply for that, so what are the factors they consider me, for example, as for the suitability of the program? So maybe Ms. Canlio, you want to answer this?
I think the first aspect of it is, of course, the certification. So if a student has a certificate or a diploma, you have to have a diploma, because with a certificate that's not sufficient. Okay, a certificate is only a level 4. A diploma is a level 5 if we look at it based on levels. So if you want to enter a level 6, you have to have a diploma in business in whichever institution it is, and that is assurance to us that you have got the necessary knowledge, Then, of course, we also expect students to be able to demonstrate it in writing, how they are able to put time aside to complete this program, and also how it's going to help them in the future. All right. So looking at their maturity, how open they are to learning, what is it that they want from this program. I think those are all aspects that we want to look at as well. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ms. Karen. So with this, right, there's also another question which definitely comes out. And what is the mode of study, or how to put it, maybe the delivery and how it has been done? Maybe I'll ask Mr. Suresh to address this.
Okay, I think the program itself, how we term it and how it's delivered is supported distance learning. So it does have the two aspects. You have the local tutors giving you a local perspective and support, as well as the University of Hertfordshire lecturers who are actually delivering on the program. In terms of the perspective, that's one. I think administratively as well, we have a team here. So we have program executives. Even though the program is pretty much, I think a big part of it is very self-directed.
Yes.
Very much as what we call it, OT in Singapore, own time, own target. But I think the most important thing is that in terms of support, you do have a team. You do have a dedicated team that is here to help you. We have a full service campus at Marina Square. If a student needs a quiet place to come and study, discuss the group work, because there are group projects as well,
yes.
This is a perfect, ideal space for them to come in. So in terms of the mode of study, mode of assessment as well, I think it's 100% coursework. So I think a lot of people have the misconception, maybe you can chime in later, that coursework is easier than examinations, but I believe it's quite different, right?
Yes, it is very different. Shall I just
yes,
step
please.
in then? Yeah. Okay. For me, the supported distance learning program is actually the best of both worlds for students, because they've got the UK team supporting them, and they have the PSB team supporting them. So actually, we are running with a program team at UK and a program team here in PSB. So you get double whammy of support, actually. The other thing that is also important for you to be aware is that, even though we say it's 100% coursework, it can be challenging. A degree is not a degree if it's not challenging. So it can be challenging, but the reason why it will be challenging is that it is actually testing you to apply the concepts that you learn to practice, and then writing the assessment accordingly, completing the assessment accordingly. So there might be some modules where you would need to reflect on your own practice, and be able to maybe make a comparison with another leader, and how your own leadership style is, and what is suitable, what is not suitable, and also being critical about the kind of leadership styles that you see, or that is reflected in your organization versus another. So it's challenging because it's using a different set of skills. You're not just describing, you're not just reporting it. You're actually trying to evaluate it, understand it, and apply to see how it works from your perspective. And that's the challenging bit sometimes for students, because we're also used to reciting things and saying what this book says and saying what that book says. We don't know how to evaluate, and that's the kind of skill that we are hoping to develop in students.
Wonderful. So it definitely needs support from these student. As a student, my involvement is definitely needed, my hard work is definitely needed.
Yes.
And definitely there is no gain without pain, we say,
Correct.
and it has to be involved very well.
I like that.
Yes. So let's go to the other questions. So how does the flexibility of the program support the adult learner? Maybe we covered it in the previous one, definitely, but in one sentence, if you want to say, maybe Suresh, can you address this?
How does flexibility support the student? Okay, so flexibility is, I think, something is bestowed upon you. You have the choice of seeing how you want to manage your time. I think it's very important. And interestingly, education is something, sometimes people say, a pain that we put ourselves through. We want the outcome, but sometimes we don't want to do the work. But the reality is we are committing time, money. I think it's not just one person's effort. Sacrifices need to be made.
Definitely.
And I think the program, even though it's flexible, it has a structure. We have 12 months. Yep. I think that 12 months gives you something to work within and towards to hit that goal. So I think that is a simple way I would actually see it.
Thank you. So in the busy schedule, it is well managed.
I would say
we
that.
will say that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. And going to the next one. So with this, I would like to ask Ms. Canio, what is the feedback from the student on the program, which is definitely everyone want to hear, because if I want to join a program, definitely the question is that, hey, how about the guy who studied before? What was the feedback? So I definitely evaluate first. Maybe I want to hear from you first.
Yes, I'm happy to share. Because we've been running this program for more than 10 years, we've had students do really well on the program because they know that it is a 1-year commitment. They know that it's flexible, and they know that they've got support from both UH as well as their local college, so they are able to work around their commitments. Yeah, and as Suresh said, you use your time the way you want to use it, because we use StudyNet all the time for everything. We actually have online content that students are expected to work through. Yeah, and the support that's provided online also includes things like chats. Yeah. So you're expected to contribute, you're expected to attend any synchronous sessions that we have. We also provide, briefing sessions on what to do when it's time for the assessment. So all that is the structure that we have in place, yeah? Where you study, when you study, is up to you, and that's the flexibility, okay? Because it's important that students come on a program where there is an endpoint. We don't want students to think that it's so flexible, they can do assessment anytime. It doesn't work like that, okay? Because you do want to feel that you have achieved something, yeah? And that's the thing that students have been telling us, we like the structure. It is flexible, but to a certain extent, but the structure actually helps us to feel that we have achieved something, and when we get our results for a particular semester, sometimes it motivates them to do better in the next semester, So that is really good. And the other thing that students actually found really, really useful is the fact that we use technology a lot for assessments. And it's all transferable to the workplace, So we have mature students who've never used Zoom and things like that before. They've never recorded presentations, they've not, done some live presentations and recorded those kind of things. And the fact that they had to do it for assessment, they had to force themselves to do it for assessment, they then felt that they were more confident in actually using those technology at work, So I think the fact that they enjoyed it, they felt that they've achieved something. Some of them have got really good results as well. And most of them have actually found that having the degree helped them to progress in their career or to find a new job.
Wonderful.
Awesome,
yeah.
Awesome. So it's really good. So if you look at 10 years of the program, we've probably got thousands of students who are alumni of the business school in this program.
That's great to hear. Actually, there are plenty of students who have given a very good feedback. But I know definitely it's a new program for PSB Academy Singapore. Was there any student who has given a feedback? Suresh, you would like to?
Yeah, I think it would still be early days for us. We just successfully started our first intake of the program. I mean, we feel confident with the support that UH has provided us, I think, in how we actually assess students, bring them in, and support them through their journey. I think students, one thing we hear is that they're happy with the way the program is delivered. The support, they know that there's somebody they can go to, because again, when you don't know who to go for, you're a bit lost, and sometimes that's where you get confused and then you lose motivation. And so we want to be there to give them a helping hand through the whole process. But generally, not much feedback is good feedback. That's what I'd say.
But can I add to this? Okay,
yes,
can I add to this? Because I'm visiting PSB for my first time, because you all have started rolling out the SDL. And I did meet the students yesterday, and they were very complimentary about the support from the local tutors, which is amazing. And also the fact is that the content and the support that they get from UH is helping them. And I think knowing that they have somebody to talk to if they have any issues, especially locally, is very important, because your students are working while they are actually studying, and that is a big commitment because life gets in the way, unfortunately, So the advice is always, speak to somebody, and you never know, you might be able to create bonds and relationships with not only your tutors, but your peers as well. So studying is not just about, getting a qualification at the end of the day. It's also sometimes about how you build up contacts and relationships.
Wonderful, thank you. And as we see that even though the program is flexible and also structured at the same time, and also it helps me to get more faster, at the same time, the point you added is very good, that use this opportunity to make more friends and make it a joyful journey. That's wonderful. So thank you, and that's one of the things. But before we step into the next section, I just want to remind those who joined online as well. If you have any questions, I already told you in the beginning. In the same way, if you have any questions, you can please type in our chat box, or you can let us know. Then I will help it out to read it out for you. Then our guests definitely can answer those. And this is a Q&A time session For those who join online, please feel free and type in your questions in the chat box. I'll be able to ask on behalf of you. Thank you. So we will wait for some time. If any questions comes in, definitely there will be a lot of information which has been given.
Yeah.
It needs time to digest and go
That's
inside.
right,
Yes,
that's right,
and
that's
then it comes out that way. Yeah. But how far a student can go with this qualification? Maybe I'll ask Suresh.
Depends what you're looking for in a qualification. Some people are looking on an aspirational level. They just want to acquire knowledge, learn something new. This can give you a lot. And the thing is, when you go into a program, any program, I would say in general, usually when I speak to students, they'll ask me, what can I do with this degree? The question is, what do you want from the degree?
Yeah.
I think that's an important question to actually ask them and what they're looking for. Some people just want a degree because it will help them move their career one level up. Some people want to learn the knowledge so they can apply it and start a business. And a lot of times I think we see people coming in from different industries, want to pick up certain skills because then they want to move into a business field.
Yes.
So, yeah, so we see many kinds of students. So there isn't a one type, I would say, that would fit the mold. Yeah.
Wonderful. Because sometimes it kind of puts a question within me. With this time, with this investment I'm making, how far I go and what I can get in. So that's one other thing, and which I see with the answers and with the information which is given, there's a good, way we can launch ourselves in multiple options available in the field. In terms of knowledge we can get, in terms of career we can go higher, progression definitely we can step up higher, which I see. And
I think just adding, maybe if I can add on that, okay, maybe we can look at it on multiple levels. I think being Asians, I think having a degree is almost a must. So it meets your basic requirement. I mean, most of us take degrees because it's seen as a requirement for job prospects.
Yes.
If you have many years of experience, you want to move up to that next level, a degree is almost a necessity because it's becoming commonplace. So how do you set yourself apart? Firstly, work experience is excellent, but if you, maybe when you were in your younger days, your commitments were different, responsibilities were different, you didn't get the chance to take a degree, and now you have all that experience, and maybe taking a first year or second year degree might not be the most beneficial for you, then a program like this would be absolutely perfect. And then, you have the degree, you have the experience, it just moves you up to another level altogether.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Can I add to that as well?
Definitely. Yes, feel free.
I'm passionate about education. I'm passionate about learning because I think, for me, education actually gives you choices. It gives you opportunities. It gives you choices. Because if you didn't have education, whatever level education it is, you have very limited choices. So it actually opens up doors for you. And then where you take it is up to you, like you said, isn't it, Suresh? Where you take it is up to you. What we call lifelong learning is something that I think I aspire to. Yeah. And like you say, we are suckers for punishment. If we want to study, we actually, we just want to be punished, isn't it? But learning new things, meeting new people, learning from other people's experiences, that is all part of the education in life as well as, in an academic qualification, isn't it? Yeah.
That's great. So knowledge never gets wasted.
Exactly.
It's a wonderful investment to do, actually.
That's
That's
right.
awesome. So I hope you guys will be thinking still some more questions, but in case if you have any hesitations to ask or put in inside, please hold it on. Also, you can email to us, and later I will share the contact details of my colleagues who are in charge for the program as well, and we can have more time also. Also, if you want to visit also, Suresh, would you like to give some info before we step into the other details?
If you are looking at this program, I think later when we go into the next few slides, we'll show you how to go and navigate our website and who to look for. PSB's business campus is actually in the city campus, is actually in Marina Square. Feel free to walk in. Our team is always here, Monday to Friday. You can always reach out to us, find out more. You can always look at our details on the website, give us a call, set up an appointment, understand whether you are the right candidate for the program. If not, what are your alternative options or your pathways? Maybe you don't meet the requirements at this moment, but we are able to actually advise you on the pathway. How do you actually get there? Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. So with this, I want to give some time to Ms. Can Leong, and definitely, and you can see here there are quite a lot of information. I'm not sure whether you can see fully, but Ms. Can Leong will be able to give a zoom of this.
A very quick summary or journey through the actual degree itself. As you know, it is a top-up, so it's a level 6 program, and we deliver it over a year. So it's considered a part-time degree because we have 3 semesters in a year, and the first one is usually in September, and then the second one is in January, and the third one is in May. So you can see the list of modules, which is also very general, to be honest, but the way it is being delivered is, of course, general for a reason, because you need to then apply it to your local context. So, for example, in semester A, students will usually start with business strategy, business commercial awareness, global marketing, ethics and culture. Okay, so it draws upon your experiences and all of the concepts that's related to strategy, to business consultancy and to marketing. Yeah, so it draws all of it together in semester A. And then semester B, we have 3 other modules, which is international human resource, leadership and organizations, and issues in the global economy. And in the final semester C, it's digital economy and contemporary issues. So depending on when you join us, those are the modules that you will take in semester A, B, and C, and that remains constant throughout the year. Okay, so perhaps I can then pass you over to Suresh to talk a little bit about how it runs with PSB.
Yep, correct. So I think a student that's looking to study this program, there we do have 3 intakes in a year. So we commenced our May, and we are on track to actually run the second round in September, after which it will be in 2023 in January. So we usually have 3 intakes, which aligns with what the UH actually runs as well. In terms of the program itself, it's about 10,646. But if you sign up for September, you're actually getting a promotional rate at actually about 9,500. Like Karen shared, it's a 12 months program. You will need to be assessed. So like anybody, if you are interested, you speak to my team. They would actually give you they'll actually do a quick little assessment, and we'll send everything to the university itself, and then give you a bit more clarity in terms of do you meet the entry requirements, what are the pathways, what do you need to do as well.
So with this, would you like to guide as a student, if I want to apply, how to go about it through the website?
Correct. Okay, so I think what we see on screen here is actually from our website itself, from PSB Academy. You can see the QR code, so if you do have the luxury of having your phone beside you, you can just have a quick scan. It will bring you directly to this page. In there, you'll actually be able to go under Find a Course. You'll be able to find the University of Hertfordshire's Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration program. And we do have an inquiry form. Just key in your details and it will come to my team. So so talking about the team, definitely there are people to support. Correct. Yes, this is my team. So there's Vanessa and Penny. They are the experts in the program. They meet students, speak to them on a very, very frequent basis. So they are familiar with qualification, whether it's Singapore qualification, overseas qualification. They will be able to guide you through, explain to you about the program, what you need, whether you meet the requirement or what you need to bridge that requirement. And I think, you can feel free to drop them a text, a WhatsApp, an email, and reach out to them just to even have a call and set up an appointment to meet them.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you. And with this, you guys feel free, comfortable to have an inquiry online as well. And as well as want to come down in person. And definitely with these consultants, they want to come down in person, I think. Yeah. That's great. Okay. So we have come to the end of the session. But before we close it, and we just want to give final words we call it as a wise word. And so any wise words from both of you for anyone who's considering this program to be part of their life? And maybe I'll start with Ms. Karen Leong.
Okay. I've just got to remember that we have got a question. Is that right? Yeah. Before I provide you with my wise words. Would you like to ask us the questions and then we'll look at it?
Definitely. Yeah. And while before giving the wise words, we got a question as well. So let me ask that question. The question is from Suhriana. And hello all. When you mentioned self-directed learning, is it fully online, hybrid, lecturers, etc.? So how the program? Suresh, would you like to?
So, there's 100% online program which does not have any support. I think that's one way to look at it. I think there's two aspects to it. There is synchronous and asynchronous. Asynchronous means that you go in, you watch a video or you assess some content, and then you do your assessment, you kind of finish it. I think with synchronous, you actually have somebody supporting you live, whether it's going to be the local lecturers or you're going to have the UH lecturers to actually come in to support. There will be tutorials. I think it won't be something that it's, once you sign up, it's all about you. You do have the support actually there. So I think in terms of the structure, that's how I would actually describe the program. Yeah.
I think I would also add to that, the reason why we say it's self-directed learning is because it is flexible. That means you study based on your own timing. But because we run a semester basis based on a 10 to 12 week kind of semester, you also have to be mindful that, you know, without completing the content that we have online and engaging with your local tutor, you might not do as well as you could. Yeah, it's not that you cannot finish or you cannot pass, but you might not be able to benefit fully from the experience, okay? And I think that's what's important. What we find is that actually when students engage with the module, with the content, with the lecturers, whether it's online or with PSB, then they do better. They do much better. And you must reach out, okay? Don't think that you're on your own and that you're shy to ask a question, because if you don't ask a question, you don't really know what you don't know, if that makes sense. Yeah, and I know that some people are hesitant because they don't want to look stupid or anything like that. But if you don't ask the question, maybe somebody else is also afraid to ask the question. Yeah, so we have got the online support that's there. Yeah, which is through group discussion or through emails with the module leader or the program team at UH and also at PSB. So you've got double whammy of support. And don't be afraid to use it. Basically, that's what I would say.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you. Wonderful.
I hope that sort of answers the question.
Yes, definitely. I believe that answered the question. Thank you so much. We have another question from Zoe. Okay, quite interesting to Suresh.
Okay.
May I know when is the last day to enroll?
Last date to enroll. Okay, so if you are already thinking about the program, today would be a good time. Okay, I mean, jokes aside, I think that there are many factors. You can wait right till the end, but usually I advise against it because there are many different documents you need to submit. You would need to submit your academic documents, your identification documents. Because this is a UK program, we'll need your passport, you need to write a personal statement, you need to put in your CV. Yes. So we've seen and we've had experiences where students submit everything, they think it's a full set, but then it comes back, there's a request for further documentation. And if we cross that deadline even just a bit, if you have a last minute application and you're unable to join the intake, I think it will be a waste. Yeah. I think that if you are really going to wait closer to the end, maybe by the end of this month. Giving it a month is a very safe timeline. So it also means that, in the UK, they do have other holidays. Yes. Sometimes they do have block-out periods. We don't want to be caught in a bind where we're unable to get a reply. So I think maybe August. I think if you do have time, speak to us, find out more, give yourself some time to think about it. By August, put in your application, you'll be safe. Yeah,
great. I think, can I just reiterate on that actually, because I think it's really important that if you are interested to always submit the application as soon as you know that you want to do it. Because you can always defer the enrollment or the registration to the next semester if things changes, okay? The reason why I say this is important is because we normally have to deal with 300 to 400 applications, towards the end of a deadline. And that means that things can go wrong, and it will, okay? So if you know that this is what you want to do, always put it in early, then we will have time to pick up on any issues that may arise. And if I'm not mistaken, for the September intake, the deadline might be middle of August, somewhere around then. Yeah, so please do make sure that if you are interested, just speak to the team, and then you can start the process early.
Great, wonderful, thank you. And Zoe also has another question: that is there any group project?
Yes.
I think it is.
Yes, there are group projects, and there are some modules that requires a group project. So for example, global marketing, ethics and culture, definitely there is a group project because it's drawing on the different experiences in different countries. So we need to leverage on that. But what we are always mindful is that we do not we do not assess students on group projects at more than 30% of the overall assessment, okay? So I think it would be unfair for us to put too much weighting on a group project. So the maximum that we would actually weigh any group project is normally at 30%. So normally what would happen is that we will also normally do that at the beginning as the first assessment. Then the second assessment will be a report, an individual report that leads from that group project. And the second assessment will be at 70%. But when the tutors mark it, they will always mark at 100 and then calculate the weighting at the end, okay? So there will be always group project. And I know that students always find it difficult working in groups, but there is actually intrinsic skills that you learn to develop when you're working in a group, you know, things like negotiation skills, learning to compromise, learning to collaborate, learning to communicate effectively without losing your temper, for example. Okay, so those are just some examples. And you know, sometimes when you reflect on the journey that you've had, you know, doing a group project, you actually learn a lot about yourself as well. Yeah. So just a thought.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. If anyone has any other questions, please type in. We may be there for a few more minutes as well. And why don't you utilize this time when both of them are here and are very quick in answering and giving all insightful thoughts as well. Thank you. And okay, meanwhile, when they share the wise words, let's have some wise questions as well. So, Ms. Canley, you can carry on.
Yeah. Wise words about the UH Baba program. I think it's an amazing program, but I'm biased. I think it's an amazing program because we work with an international team at the business school, all right? So the visiting lecturers and the tutors that work on the team are from all over the globe. We have got Black Caribbeans, Black Africans, Iranians, Egyptians, Turkish, English, of course, we mustn't forget that, you know, Chinese nationals, Malaysian Chinese. So we have got a whole range of very diverse academic team that complements the PSB team that's here to support you. And what we ask from you is that you, when you do decide to do this program, it is a challenging program because it is a one-year program. You are trying to complete 8 different subjects in a year. So it will be challenging because you have a life, yeah? So don't be too harsh on yourself. That's my advice to you. Do the best that you can and know that when you do the best that you can, that is all you can do. Because there's only one of you and there's only 24 hours in a day. You cannot do more than that, yeah? But also manage your time well and do take time for a break occasionally, you know, when you need to. Be confident in yourself and know that the skills and the knowledge and the experience that you've got is invaluable and relevant to the course that you're doing. That's why you're taking this course, yeah? And be an independent, self-directed learner. Use your own initiative and ask questions if you're not sure. Those are my words of wisdom.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Definitely, you got to write it down and to have these, you know, every day we got to check it out and see. Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Canley. And let's hear from Suresh.
Okay. I think from my side, what I would say is if you are somebody who's thinking about a degree program for yourself, maybe it's a thought that's been crossing your mind. You find that you have a bit more time. You know, you've kind of managed your personal and career goals quite well, and you think that now's the right time for you to start thinking about a degree program. Don't wait too long. I think the first step is actually to speak to somebody. So reach out to the team, find out more. I think I can guarantee you it might not be for everybody, but the thing is you won't know unless you speak to us. Speak to somebody. Find out more from your friends, what is their experience, then speak to professionals like my team. My team speaks to students on a daily basis. We hear all kinds of profile of students, you know, young learners, adult learners, and they can guide you whether this is the right program. I mean, hearing the thoughts that we've shared today will give you some level of clarity. And I think speaking to them will give you that answer, whether this is right for you, whether the price point is right for you, whether the schedule works for you, whether September is the right time or whether it's January. Then I think after that, putting in an application to be very, very sure. And 1 year, to me, is actually really quick.
Yes.
Before you know it, you blink 6 months, you blink again, the year ends. Questions that a lot of students ask us is, can I cope? I guarantee you when you start, it will be something that you will need to learn to get used to. You'll make sacrifices. But I think once you get used to it and it becomes part of your life and becomes part of what you need to do, it'll become very, very normal. So
can I also add something on that one? You will find that you want to do more studying after that.
I agree, yeah.
Okay,
you
that's
get that
great.
bug for learning.
Okay, that's good. Thank you so much. I mean, for these wise words. Definitely, when you start learning it, and when you finish that, after you finish that, you feel like learning more.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Yes.
So before we close the session, I just want to leave this info also on the screen. So if you guys want to scan or contact our colleagues, the senior consultants, definitely please feel and go ahead. Take a photo of it or take the contact details. You can WhatsApp them as well as have a direct call and email them and scan for the application as well. And I hope that with the questions asked, with the clarity given and the information is given, definitely will be ready to apply also, and with the benefits of this course which has been laid out, and definitely it is worth, and I will say, and please take details information which has been shared on your screen and contact us, and definitely Suresh and the team will be definitely there to help you guys. And if you want to come down to our campus also, you can definitely come down and have a look at the campus. And I hope we have come to the end of the session, and the questions were asked well and answers were given wisely, and with the wise answers and wise advices has been given. And we believe that this has benefited all of you as well as benefited us as well as we interacted with one another, and we got more insight as well. Thank you so much for joining in. Have a wonderful evening and take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mahendra.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
Thank you, everyone.